Robert, should Manchester United sell Rasmus Hojlund now? Listen, this is kind of talking about yesterday's performance, but also in the grand scheme of things, his performances for Manchester United have been nowhere near good enough. I want to talk about his overall season. What's the future with him at this football club? Because for me, he's one of those players who has had way more than enough chances in this Manchester United team. This is now his second season at the club. And the first season was alright. He got 16 goals in all competitions, quite a few good goals as well. This season you were hoping he would kick on from there, but just hadn't been able to do that. His performances have been sloppy, and he just hasn't done enough to be a top United player. And you have to sympathise with him. Yes, he's playing in a poor United side, but the basics as a footballer he's not doing right. His first touch is dreadful. His hold-up play dreadful. Like, he seems to regress from last season, and that's something that you don't want to see from your striker. As I said, was never a £72 million signing. I think it was like €85 million in the end we ended up paying for him. He's not that sort of player who should have cost that sort of money. Again, he's still young. He's 22, but it's just not good enough. And I've always said there was a time where, like, Xerxes has been booed for less than what Rasmus Hojlund has done, and I think you look at Hojlund, his performances are frustrating. And there was a time where I would have sold Xerxes than Hojlund, and look how the times have changed. I mean, now if you had to pick Xerxes or Hojlund to sell, it would clearly be Rasmus Hojlund. As I said, he probably can develop, and I think you can see Amorim saying that he's happy with Hojlund. Is he just saying that in the media he's not going to go in slating Hojlund, and that doesn't do any good, especially a couple of days or 4 or 5 days before a European final? But yeah, listen, Hojlund has just not been good enough for United. I would certainly look at offers. There's been talks about loans in the Serie A. I would be all over them, because Hojlund for me is just that player who we need a clinical striker. And yes, Delap would probably make a difference. He's probably better than Rasmus Hojlund, Premier League proven. But again, Hojlund for me isn't a player who personally could be in the title winning side. As I said, there was a lot of potential when we did bring him in at, what was he, 20 when we signed him, 21. But now you look at him and he's just not having good performances. I mean, how many goals had he scored this season? 2. I mean, the last one he scored was at Bournemouth when he just got that deflected goal. And then the one before that was at Leicester against a relegated side. So he has struggled. As I said, there will definitely be clubs suited and wanting to sign him. Clubs like, I think Juventus have been linked to him. There's another Italian team. It might have been Atalanta again or Juventus. I can't remember, but there will be clubs interested in signing Hojlund. There is a player there. He had a good season, as I said, last season, 16 goals. And you always have to give players time to settle in. We did it to Sancho, Anthony, and all the big players that have come to United. But Hojlund, for me, is just nowhere near good enough. The quality, the final product, decision making is one of the biggest issues, and I think Amorim knows that. I think a striker is our highest priority at the moment. Again, but the striker market is very, very difficult. Who do you sign? You've got Osimhen, you've got Gyökeres, you've got Delap, who's looking like the most likely one. And listen, there was a time where we were talking about Rasmus Hojlund not getting service, but he is getting the service. And at that time, it's not about the service, it's just about his overall play. He's not doing enough to be a top player at Manchester United. But yeah, listen, would you sell him? Let me know in the comment section below. Would you sell Rasmus Hojlund? For me, I'd certainly look at getting rid of him as soon as you can. If you're saying take him, get rid of him, and you bring in Delap, I'd be all over that. I think Amorim knows that he has to look at it now at selling Rasmus Hojlund, because he's just not doing enough on the pitch. And as I said, and the chances that he's had chances this season. And yeah, he probably will stay. But for me, he's one of those priority positions. We need a striker ASAP. And whether that is, as I said, Delap, I think he will make a massive difference. And you can just see he's just not, like, I know his holder play isn't great, but it was good last season. But listen, let's see what happens. I just wanted to give some thoughts on Hojlund. Would you sell him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment. For me, has been a very, very poor performer for United this season. And yes, the whole team's been poor. We're what, 16th, 17th. We just got our 18th Premier League defeat of the season. But in a season where we've been poor, the basics from Rasmus Hojlund just haven't been there, and they haven't been there for a while. And as I said, there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of hope when he first came in to United. £72 million. Was a ridiculous fee, but he was that new striker, hopefully someone who could be in the club for the next 10 years, but just hasn't gone that way. And looking at someone like Xerxes, who was very, very difficult when he first came to the team. When he first came to United, he was struggling to get minutes. He didn't know where his best position was. And like he's come on leaps and bounds. With Hojlund, he probably started off better than he expected. Started off, scored some goals, and now he is struggling a little bit. As I said, it is still Xerxes' season, first season. But talking about Rasmus, would you sell him in the comment section below? And where would he go? Which clubs would be interested in signing a striker who, listen, I think he is low on confidence. We have seen he can score goals. He scored some wicked goals. I remember Galatasaray. I think he scored, even this season, he scored quite a few against Copenhagen. He's not Copenhagen. He scored one against Porto or Fenerbahce. He has scored quite a few in the Europa League, but he is struggling. Let me know your thoughts.